Hello, family, and welcome back to Sow and Grow. My name is Denora. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, also known as D. If this is your first time joining us, please hit that subscribe button and also that notification bell up there somewhere, so that way you could be notified of all of the new videos that we post on our channel. So today we are going to be working on something for the very first time, and those of you that have been with us know that our channel is all about first. Because we are very new to gardening, most of the things that we do here is for the first time, and we want to encourage. We've documented it so we can encourage someone that may have the desire but think that they can't do it, that you don't need to be an expert to do a lot of these things. And a lot of times you can go to YouTube, watch a few videos, and get all of the information that you need to get started. So today we are going to be creating a compost bin. So I've already been to Compost Bin University, aka YouTube, watched several videos, and I am confident that I can get this thing started today. So what a compost bin is, for those of you that may not know, is it is just amending your soil, which eliminates you having to buy a lot of plant food, plant fertilizers, and granules and things like that. Anywhere from $10 upwards a bag. Some of them can go up to $20+ a bag. And I found myself this past season, because once you get into it, you're kind of wanting to buy everything and do all these different things to make sure that your garden, for your garden. But I found myself purchasing a lot of different things and realizing that with my compost bin, I can create a even better plant food for my plants. So yes, a compost bin is just collecting some of your food scraps, and also some greens from your garden, which can be some garden clippings, grass clippings, leaves, those type of things. Also shredded paper, a combination of all of those things mixed with water, and you keep it turned so that way it breaks down into the soil. Also, you want to add some soil in there. It breaks down into the soil and creates a nutritious soil for your plants. Eventually, we will add some worms in there, and what the worms will do will help break down the food products and paper and leaves faster. They will poop it out, and that will create earthworm castings, because that's exactly what earthworms casting is, which I purchased some last year for last season. So so this year I'm going to create our own via our compost bin, and this is the very best time to get started doing that, because the garden season is pretty slow. There's not a lot going on. So that way, and it takes a little time for these things to break down. So you want to get it started that way. When garden season kicks in again, your soil will be nice and amended and ready to grow. Nutrients and things that you get from some of the plant foods will all, be in your compost. So these are some of the things that I purchased last year. So as you can see, I purchased earthworm casting, and like I mentioned, that is just from the worm poop. Once they eat all of the different leaves and food scraps, and they poop it out. This is what earthworm casting is. Fish fertilizer, vegetable and tomato, plant food, garden lime, all of these different things, I purchased last year for my garden. So this coming season, I will not have to buy as much of this stuff, because all of the stuff that this contains will be in the amended soil that I'm creating in my compost, like the nitrogen and the phosphorus and the potassium. The potassium will come from the banana peels and things like that. The nitrogen will come from the paper, and the phosphate will come from your browns, which is your clippings and your leaves and things of that nature. So I'm very excited to get this compost bin started. So come on guys, let's go get started with our compost bin. So here on the table I have all of the necessary items that I am going to need to create my compost bin. And here I have a bag of leaves and clippings from my garden, from my yard. So it's yard clippings and leaves. Here I have the storage bin that I'm going to be using to create the compost bin, which is a 30-gallon storage tote. In that tote I have already put many holes on the top, on the sides, and also on the bottom. So there are a ton of holes here. You need a lot of air holes. In this box here, I have my shredded paper, and then I also have some food scraps. So I have some banana peels, I have some eggshells, some coffee grinds, I have my dirt, and then I've been collecting some rainwater because you have to keep the stuff inside the bin moist, and I have my shovel to mix everything up. So I am going to layer these items in the bin, create the compost to get it started, and then I'll find some of the earthworms that are in my yard down there. We have tons of worms down there, and I'll drop a few of them periodically in the bin. And what the worms do is that they break down the food and the scraps in paper, and then they poop it out, and it creates a very healthy, nutritious soil that you can use in your garden. So here goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my shears, my scissors, and cut down the banana peels a little finer. The smaller the pieces of paper and yard clippings and food scraps, the smaller they are, the easier that it is going to be for them to break down. So I'm going to cut that up a little bit first. Okay, family, as you can see, I have layered some of the items that we mentioned, which is the shredded newspaper, some of my leaves from my garden, some of the food scraps, which was eggshells, banana peels, coffee grinds. So I did 2 layers of each, wet it down a little bit, put some dirt on it, and mixed it up. And so this is what we have here. So periodically I'll add more food scraps and keep layering, following that process with a layer of leaves, a layer of the shredded newspaper, some of food scraps, and another layer of soil. I'll do that periodically until the bin is full, and keep turning. A couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, I should have some awesome healthy soil to start my spring 2021 gardening. So this is my compost bin. I used a plastic tote, drilled a lot of holes in it, and layered it with some of the items: leaves, paper, dirt, and some food scrappings, and wet it down just a bit. So you have to keep it moist, keep it turned, and as I mentioned, I will keep layering it, turning it, and before you know it, this bin will be full of amazing soil. So the idea of it is the paper and the leaves give it nutrients, nitrogen and phosphate, and all of the necessary ingredients for a well-productive soil. And periodically I'll dig up some worms in my backyard and drop a few in here, and they will help to break down the item. So before adding the worms, we want to get it just about halfway full. So we will continue to repeat the process of layering it with the food scraps, the paper, and the soil. The final thing we're going to do is keep the top on it, keep the lid on it, so when it does rain, the content does not get soaked. So if this was at all helpful to you, please give us a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and grow with us on this journey. We appreciate you stopping by today and look forward to seeing you again. God bless.